So,
it was very effective during the regular season. A lot of people and a lot of teams coined them as kind of best of one merchants. And so when the best of threes rolled around in that kind of top 6 competition, they ended up falling short against GX. But that shouldn't take away from the potential that this roster demonstrated already when it felt like a lot of players from a lot of different places coming together, finding a lot of success. But so far,
so, wir haben Karma offen noch. Karma Rumble.
So KOI are definitely coming in as the favorites today.
MKOI were able to also take them down in the upper bracket. So yeah, they 2-0'd them in that best of 3. We'll see if we have a fast series here, because we've had all 3-game series so far today.
We absolutely have.
We could be in for the long haul, but MKOI did seem confident going in.
Karma offen, Rumble offen.
See, catching up on the bans here for game number 1. Pretty much the usual. It's the Orianna, Pantheon, and Azir with Rise, Nautilus, J4 on the other side. So first pick, Karma locked in for Navi.
Something we saw a lot at first stand as well. It feels like the Karma's just risen in priority as Enchanters seem to be dominating the meta. Varus has been left available. KOI now has to make a choice. You can see them hovering the Ezreal because they have to debate, do they want the Varus into the Karma Ezreal, or do they instead want to take the Varus away and force the bot lane of Navi onto something different? And it looks like the direction that they're going to go in is actually securing that Ezreal to steal it away.
Yeah, the interesting thing, though, is I don't see the pairings with Ezreal as strong once that Karma's gone. So, yes, you're denying it, but now you got to find something else for Alvaro to pilot. They're going to say that for right now, as it's Elioya locking in the Xin Zhao instead.
I mean,
ist ein guter Takeaway.
Out Leona earlier in the day, and I do think Leona can.
Ist ein guter Takeaway. Also Karma sind auch einer der ekelhaftesten Jungle-Support-Kombos, die du spielen kannst.
So normally we don't see engaged supports until later on into the draft. This does, however, raise questions of things like perhaps Ezreal Nami could be a possibility. I mean, the main
das gemachte Döner hatte ich letzte Woche, das war so lecker.
Could be an option. A slightly weaker laning phase, but Ezreal is so self-sufficient that you can then just
Sie wird Karma stark.
around the map.
Spielt der OP-Jungler wieder Aatrox?
Great reputation on range support.
Spielt der Aatrox?
Melee supports has kind of been his motif.
Okay.
And often when we see the best version of KOI,
Pantheon ist super OP, ja.
and Alvaro are kind of dominating the entire rift together. And usually he does that when he's on those engaged supports. So we'll see what he decides to bring out because, I mean, Enchanters is the meta.
Enchanters, we've seen Enchanters for like the first 2 games from both teams pretty consistently. Once Fearless takes those away, you start seeing those engaged support. So it is the Nami. On the opposite side, Navi locked into Sivir. So talk about a pushing bot lane.
Da kommt der Aatrox.
Plus Karma should theoretically have a lot of shove down there. And then the Aatrox, I'm expecting that for a Relech. I mean, this was the conversation last split was, hey, he's playing top laners in the jungle. That's why he's having so much success, because they all got buffed with their clear. And it seems like we're continuing that momentum into split 2.
Absolutely. I mean, Relech was the guy that was, I mean, you talked about Mew and playing crazy stuff. Relech, Kiana, he was the first one to bring in Zehen in our region. He was playing Aatrox. He's been playing Ambessa jungle. Like, he was the first domestically to just be like, yeah, I'm playing these carries. I think they're good. I think top laner is better in jungle.
Would he ever play the Teemo? Because that got jungle buff too.
Nah,
I'm just saying.
I mean, I would love it if he did.
Yeah, Darius.
But the problem is, bro, there's not enough AD mid laners in the game. That's what ruins all the fun AP junglers that we're not getting to see.
Yeah.
But maybe, hey, maybe the meta will evolve. Maybe some buffs and nerfs will come through. 26.6 is the patch that we're on, and
Es wird Nami.
craziest in terms of
Ja.
I'm hoping for a little bit more spice
Okay.
in this one. Regardless, top lane seems to be the focus.
Für den halt Push, ne, oder?
Seem to be trying to remove
Karma sollte alleine Push bekommen schon.
options.
Mal sehen.
And I mean, you wanted to see interesting stuff. Well, Sion gone, Cassante gone, Renekton gone. We are leaning more towards some of the more interesting picks up there.
Yeah, I mean, Rumble would be like the next one that's considered a standard top lane, I would expect. But Navi have the chance to ban that away here if they want to go for it, because otherwise MKOI could snatch it up. No, it's the Gnar instead. So MKOI, do they want to go for a Rumble in game number 1? Just takes it away from Fearless going on to the series. And also, again, it's kind of that next high priority pick. But then you're opening things up for Mainter to try and counterpick you, but it's just so enticing. I like, if they're giving it to you, I feel like you take it.
Yeah, I mean, good read. Right now, KOI don't have, like, the most reliable engage. They've got a Xin Zhao going into the fight, and then they've got a Nami ultimate to follow. The Rumble ultimate paired alongside it is decent, but the amount of crowd control MKOI has is very limited. And Navi introducing this Ambessa definitely adds a little bit more mobility and backline threat, which KOI won't have a huge amount of peel for. But they may very well just hard pivot as they are hovering the Ornn instead.
Okay, I was about to make a joke
that
Merwin teased JoJo could play Ornn mid, but no, instead it's going to be, you know, maybe Navi.
Der Navi-Draft ist sehr OP, oder nicht?
It's true.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Navi-Draft ist sehr, sehr, sehr OP und unskilled.
Also, locked in. So it is Aatrox in the jungle. No big surprise there.
Also Anivia jetzt hier oder sowas noch, vielleicht, aber der Draft von Navi ist super OP und unskilled.
Kind of a mixture of engage, of wave clear, of diving ability. There's a lot of flexibility in Navi's composition that I'm seeing so far.
Ooh, I don't know if I love Syndra here. I feel like picking Syndra into Ornn is always really dangerous, especially when she doesn't have a huge amount of peel. Also, like, when her flash is down, what do you do to stop the Aatrox from just sprinting at you with On the Hunt?
Ich mag, glaube ich, den Navi-Draft einfach mehr.
Confident with it. I mean, I'm telling you right now,
Honestly.
Trades has a ton of value in this game. Mainly because...
Ich glaube, ich mag den MKOI-Draft einfach mehr. Den Navi-Draft, sorry.
Magic damage.
Yeah, Rumble in general.
Wer hat der First Pick? Navi.
So, as a concept.
Yeah, right now, KOI have a ton of poke. They've got a lot of long...
Navi, First Pick, Karma.
I would say that KOI have this habit of playing what I would describe as disengage comps. They often do it with Braum, where they don't have compositions that have high engage, but instead they try to play fast and very focused on, ever since their loss at MSI, I want to say of last year, is speed. They talked a lot last year about how they felt that Eastern teams could just play quicker, especially the LPL teams. They really wanted to try and emulate that style. And a lot of since then, we've seen...
Ja, der Unterschied ist, dass die LPL-Teams halt auch Lanes ficken.
Decisive.
Sure.
And often that catches a lot of European teams off guard because they're not quite ready for that degree of pace.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they can bring that pace up against Navi, who is looking for that more traditional front-to-back style comp.
Well, the audience is ready, making noise for their teams. It's MKOI versus NAVI to kick off their spring splits in our final best of 3 of the day. If you're still with us, bless you, everybody, for sticking along for a very long broadcast day. But we are ready.
Was, danke für den 13.
Number 1.
Main auf auch eine Bank, also der Draft ist halt sehr solid.
It's been a while, Betty.
Pushing bot lane.
I was very excited to come to LEC to watch some more Jojo Pyun.
How long has it been since you last casted?
Since the last cast of Jojo Pyun, probably 3 years.
Damn.
Because I was casting him back in tier 2 before he even moved up.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So that was the EG roster? Oh, no, it was before the EG roster.
It would have been EG Academy, yeah.
Damn. All right,
He
we got to
did,
pause.
Come up through the ranks, but okay, we do have a game pause. Hey, look at that! Christened into LEC, my first cast. Don't even get 30 seconds of gameplay. I feel like this is, you know, I'm getting thrown to the deep end right away.
You have to come up with fill content already. I mean, the good news is I'm already seeing ready checks, so that's already
good.
from the players.
I did have fill content prepared in case we needed it.
And that concerns me.
Oh, really?
Because I feel like you've been speaking to hysterics prior to coming to this cast, and that man terrifies me what goes on in his brain.
Well, we did talk some of the fill content already. I was going to surprise you with some Riftbound analogies to League of Legends.
Addicted, bro.
But now
Ich müsste meinen Arsch verkaufen
so now it would be more
für Riftbound Packs
on my thoughts.
und On-Stream öffnen und so weiter.
But we're back into the game. Pause is wrapped. It was a short one.
Yeah.
I want to set some stage here, though, Vedius, and some expectations for each of these
ritual.
compositions. The
Baldhood initiation. Wow, look at that.
Caps will join us soon.
Wir lieben Geld, ich weiß nicht, ob ich es verkaufen darf. Ich weiß nicht, ob ich es verkaufen darf.
Hey,
Ich glaube, das käme nicht so gut an, tatsächlich.
bring it back into the fold. If
Well, I'm
anything.
bringing it into style here.
Right.
That
right,
was like
right.
half the comments on the tweet announcement was, oh, there's a bald caster in EU now.
It's true, yeah. You are very welcome to the.
See,
to the
Azale
region.
already cornered that market.
It's
in
true.
LCS,
That's a great point.
So I felt a little suffocating over there.
Yeah.
Needed to spread my wings.
Yeah,
fly
no, I mean,
somewhere
that actually makes a ton of sense. And of course, when we get more information, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, that update is the same update that we get. So you know as much as we do. And when we have more information, we will, of course, share it.
Is it time for the pause content now?
What pause content do you have?
So this is one I've already used on the LCS, so maybe people have heard this before. But I want to get everyone's thoughts in the audience. I want to get your thoughts, Betty. I want everyone in chat, on Twitch.
Okay.
How many chuggas before you choo-choo? Chugga, 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 choo-choo?
This feels like
is it
the
4?
most American question.
Bro, das hatte ich doch. Warte mal, wir haben doch den LCS-Broadcast.
I mean, so I think I know what you're talking about.
Doch, warte mal, das haben wir doch im LCS-Broadcast gehört sogar, oder?
You know, you're like,
Die Originaldiskussion.
chugga, 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 choo-choo. I'm an 8 chuggas guy.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you can't. Is this kind of like when you're feeding
Doch,
a child?
wir hatten das Original auch gehört. Jesus Maria.
See,
Yeah,
and so it's
exactly.
Alter, das ist auch schon lange her.
before you've reached the destination.
Exactly.
And you can
Because
also-
you build the anticipation, too.
I see.
Yeah.
I feel like it depends on the occasion, no?
Okay.
Wird wieder Geld verdient.
That if you're in
Ich,
an arena,
ich krieg keine Karten.
slow.
By the way, ich habe wirklich noch keine Karten zugeschickt bekommen.
Oh, should we test it? with the arena here?
Was verkaufen ja die
I don't
Riftbound-Karten?
know. I feel like
Wenn ich welche zugeschickt bekommen hätte, aber habe ich ja nicht.
I love your
Confused looks.
ambition. I love that you aim high, and I'm just feeling like,
Eigentlich.
I'm gonna
Give
you
it a
down right
shot.
now.
You never know if they're gonna be into it or
Welcome
not.
to Europe, the era of pessimism, and where it's like, no, let's aim low, bro. Let's aim down here, and then we'll achieve our achievable goals.
Well,
you
all
know?
I'll say is
Du
I don't
Lügner,
expect
nein.
any answer to the question as long as it is an even number. If you said an odd number, I would be confused.
Oh, so if I
Which-
said like 3, that would just make you uncomfortable?
Yes, deeply.
So
And
like
we have.
chugga, 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 choo choo.
I hate that. I hate that so
Well, that's
much.
really good to know. Because I love winding my colleagues up. So that's fantastic.
Oh, that's
I
good
really
to know.
appreciate that.
That's
yeah.
good to know on my end. We did check the tape, and Monte Cristo, when he was given the Korea Hype Train back in the day, the classic, 7 chuggas.
7.
He gave 7.
So is that when you just kind of lost faith in him? Is that
Yeah, you know,
that's
that's
crazy.
when it started going downhill. You know?
Yeah, but again, that's why I say context dependent. I feel like depending on the environment, perhaps that just felt right in the moment. Perhaps it just felt right. You know what I
Sometimes
mean?
you got to go with your gut. You just got to go with your gut.
All right, so we did get a bit of an update. There is a potential in-game camera issue.
Oh,
Was, Bruder?
So
that's the worst place to have a camera issue.
we're getting ready checks to see if it's solved. This is the first time I've ever heard this.
Yeah, camera issues.
I don't even
in-
know what a camera issue means.
Do they have like the wrong angle? Is it like
Maybe. Truthfully, I
Yeah.
don't know. This is a unique one to me. So we're gonna see if it's fixed. I'm assuming what happened was the player left and came back in.
It's
and
hopefully fixed? It's looking like we are back into the game. So there we go.
so there you go.
2 pauses
Yippee.
Again.
for my first cast for the LEC. There we go. We're getting them out of the way.
I mean, there's a bit of a history with Koi and pauses. I don't know how aware you are with them, but yeah, there's quite the history.
Ja, also manchmal ist die Kamera halt oben gebackt, ne? Oder so oben lockt.
Strap in. We might have more.
That's all resolved, fortunately. But let's see how the rest of the game goes. So, we're finally into some League of Legends. Where would you like to start?
I wanted to start with expectations and table setting for what compositions are trying to do at what time in the game. Because again, I see flexibility on Navi's side. MKOI, a lot of magic damage, and you mentioned that they're pivoting towards more of like an aggressive early style.
Dass Bot den ja Push verliert, ist krass.
I think,
To be honest.
I feel like Navi is demonstrating
Vor allem Samdi hat nichts an Barrier benutzt, ne? Und der spielt gegen TP. Also das war gar nicht gut von Samdi.
they're very much
Überhaupt nicht gut.
They want to focus their attention around dragons.
Ja, Lissandra nach der Ulti war kurz unsichtbar. Wie? Gebabbelt into Ulti und dann unsichtbar, oder was?
To gain the bot lane prio. Sandy is already suffering in terms of his HP.
Yeah.
And Super and Alvaro, I mean, they've always been known as aggressive as a bot lane, and they will fight for that control.
Boah, die sind solche Fanboys. Es ist so G2-Fanboy.
Bot side jungle. He's done a full bot side clear.
Und BLG.
Did see him on the Raptors, but it looks like
Also, warum benutzt du nicht dein Barrier? Ich verstehe das nicht.
Yeah. So
Barrier nutzen ist so OP.
bot lane. They could
Ey.
pick him up, and now he spots out
Ergibt keinen Sinn.
on the Gromp.
Was später schauen willst?
Around, and he
Yes.
can wait for Super and Alvaro to come up and assist him.
yeah, the problem is Nami really doesn't have a huge amount of mana, but Paris has actually come a step too close.
Elioya is actually contesting roulette.
Kennst ist gut, of course, aber zeig mal Jungle.
The jungle is. Poby and Jojo also traded aggressively.
Ja, es ist halt, das ist disgusting, oder nicht?
Yeah.
This is bad for a few reasons. First of all, yes, his bot lane did have.
Ja, jetzt ist es disgusting natürlich.
At the bottom of your screen, you can see how much HP,
Jetzt ist es richtig bad bei Jojo.
and it's not any. So, with that lacking resource, it becomes a lot harder to actually contest this neutral blue buff, which means that, I mean, Elioya basically just becomes a spectator. He
Yeah.
watches him clear the objective with no support, because it didn't come from mid either. They were just trading HP the same way as Jojo pretty much always does. I'm sure you have a lot of experience with this yourself, but the man just likes to fight in his...
Ich habe wirklich oft das Gefühl, hier in Europa, die Lanes gehen, also die Lanes funktionieren nicht so, wie sie sollten. Casey hat 2-1 gewonnen. So, in welcher Welt verliert Sivir Karma Push und wird gechunkt auf 20%?
Yeah, I would be very
Ohne das Barrier benutzt. Das ergibt gar keinen Sinn. Das ist nicht mal möglich.
respond on Navi's side yet, but
Also ich weiß literally nicht, wie sie es hinbekommen haben.
take those.
So this is perfect for Relax.
Yeah.
He gets the Raptors respawn.
Ja, sehr gut Invade jetzt.
Elioya to challenge because he started on his Krugs instead
Sehr
of
gut
the
Invade.
Raptors. And so Elioya is now just behind, and he's sad. He hasn't even cleared his blue buff. He's actually skipped his blue buff in an effort to try and get back to his Raptors. And
And they're not going to be there, and he's going to be spotted as well. So early game not going Elioya's way. Relech has been able to just, first off, benefit from Elioya kind of wasting his own time, then waste some of Elioya's time.
Wer Draft gewonnen auf dem Papier? Auf dem Papier, Navi.
Just down onto the Krugs.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of blame the laners.
Ja, Jojo ist fucked. Und es gibt Early Upgrade Smite für Rylich.
First game of the day between GX and Fnatic, where Xin did the exact same thing. He leveraged the.
Das heißt Early Drake. Also der erste Drake muss hier an Navi gehen. Er muss an Navi gehen. Der erste Drake. Muss.
But by conceding so many resources in HP and mana, and now they're losing out on the trades in the 2 versus 2.
Okay, so sollte es, glaube ich, schon eher aussehen, die Lane.
He's just suffering as a result. He still hasn't cleared his blue buff, by the way.
Yeah, still first spawn blue buff on the top side, and the bottom jungle is still lit up. So Elioya's hovering down by the bot lane. They're getting shoved in, and he's going to be spotted.
Der wurde gespottet, naja.
As that ward, I believe, just expired there. Now he's passing towards the mid lane. Kobe takes a
Du hast ihn doch gesehen.
We'll get the flash out.
What the fuck?
As Jojo Pyun throws out the unleashed power for first blood. MKOI on the board.
Hallo, what the fuck?
When things are going wrong in jungle, just gank. Just gank. Beautifully done there by Elioya and Jojo.
Haben die den...
Punish the fact
Ist dieser...
still
Der Ward muss ihn gesehen haben, oder nicht?
doesn't have any jungle support. He steps
Der Ward muss den gesehen haben.
and MKOI
Der ist, der ist ausgelaufen, aber der muss den gesehen haben.
And they needed something. Elioya is still so far behind because LEC is now onto the dragon. He's full cleared a second time.
So, jetzt müssen wir... Okay, Rylich sollte jetzt invaden. Er sollte die Gegner-Raptors wieder invaden. Keine Syndra-Ulti, das weiß er. Botlane ist gefisst, der sollte hier invaden.
The difference maker here for MKOI.
Absolutely, and the truth is that I don't think this is even that bad for Navi. When you think about them as a team and with this composition, it's very front-to-back driven. It's a lot more about
Ja,
scale.
Invade ist gut.
They're very reliant on items.
Oh no.
Sehr gutes Early-Game von Rylich.
Again, oh my god, Relic's pathing is just everything.
Der heißt doch Rylich, oder nicht? Der ist doch nicht Rylich.
Is just line it.
No fucking way.
Crab spawn on the bot side instead of.
Egal.
He may even just go for the top crab anyway.
Man keine Pings auf ist der Watt dann in der Sekunde ausgelaufen. Das ist crazy.
He'll start up the scuttle now, and Jojo actually playing hero here, delaying LEC on the path top side. Elioya is going to be happy about his mid laner spotting that roam. As now Merwin actually coming in, level 7 on the Rumble.
Ulti und Auto-Attack. Hallo?
Flash.
Hallo?
And Merwin picks up another kill.
Yeah, that is.
Was ist los?
That is a rough one. So. Merwin kind of making up for the deficit now. That was a much-needed kill as well for Koi. And it turns out that regardless of the strategy, the map play that Navi is doing, Koi's like, all right, we'll just kill you, and that'll work. That'll do.
That's what we call an oofta, is when you're not able to get away. So that's the lead essentially for LEC. Almost gone now. I mean, it's picked up by the solo laners, not Elioya, so there's still just barely any lead in the jungle, but Jojo also pushes in another wave here, gets more turret plates, so the solo laners are getting the kills. And
What the fuck?
As well, so early game now in favor of MKOI.
Absolutely. I mean, the first strike rumble naturally going to generate more gold as well. The boost of swiftness now picked up.
Reicht?
More movement from Merwin up at the top side.
He's going to run at you fast with that flamethrower.
That he is. He is going to. I think he will still get out sprinted by the Sivir later on, but hey,
sure.
A close race to be sure. But Poby is now really struggling in this lane. When you don't have flash against the Syndra, especially when her ultimate comes back off cooldown, you've got to be very cautious about your approach to that laning phase. And Jojo, again, he's just a player that if you give him an inch, he'll take a mile.
Yeah.
He will really push that lead as much as he can. So with the lead that he's already built up, 1.1k gold lead is quite hefty for Poby to deal with.
And we had mentioned in pick and ban, in the late game against things like the Ornn, Syndra's not going to be doing that much consistent damage, but in the
Das macht mich so sauer.
early game, really, really tough, because you give Jojo a champion that he can make his own calls on, he can find the scatter the weak and the all in, and he will
Raptor re-invade.
also making space for Elioya. Again, giving him that space to get that top scuttle. Now Elioya has push in mid and top, so we can go towards these grubs. And back on the board. Now Merwin will drop down the equalizer to clear out this next wave. And just playing for, again, that top objective. Elioya will get all 3 Void Grubs. As LEC, is he looking for another Raptor
Of course
spawn?
he is. Those Raptors he believes belong to him, and the whole team is coming to fight for them.
He's like, you know what? It doesn't matter if we gave the kills. Doesn't matter if I failed the flash. I want the Raptors. This time, Elioya has the backup, and he will smite secure them. can't fool him 3 times, Betty.
I mean, Alvaro was kind of the GOAT in that situation. He moved up early to read the play. I'm sure the comms were Alioya was, if he steals my Raptors one more time, I swear
we're going to have another pause, okay? As scat of the week from JoJo, but Poby goes between worlds. Big damage. JoJo will find the kill as Relech will look to chase down the Syndra. No flash available, no scat of the week. It's on cooldown. That's a shutdown to Relech. 1 for 1 in the mid lane.
I mean, so there's good news and bad news. The good news for Na'Vi is that, hey, you got a decent amount of gold onto Relech.
Yeah.
Right? The man that you often consider the carry of this team, the kind of the front runner, the guy that often leads the team to success. The bad news is the Syndra can now solo kill your mid laner pretty much whenever she wants.
Yeah.
That is a Blackfire Torch finished at 9 minutes 40 seconds. So
the Dark Seal the boots.
Yeah,
so,
JoJo's just gonna TP back in the lane and is like, "Hey, Poby, so how's it going?"
Heard you like damage.
Und dann kann ich so unplayable sein, kann sie auch nicht, aber der hat eine fette Wave verloren bei dem Dev. Bei dem fetten Dev. Bei dem Dev hat er eine fette Wave verloren. Disgusting.
Wise words of encouragement as a jungler, you just kind of avoid the inters. So he's probably not going to come mid anytime soon. Instead, he's going to be looking to, hang on, top lane.
Forge got from Mainter, lands onto Merwin, taking a lot of damage here. Has the flash, no equalizer, will flash away. Harpoon back on a Mainter. Well played from Navi's top laner.
Yeah, the Ornn early on can definitely find advantages, and I mean that early roam from Merwin got him a nice injection of gold, but that magic resistance starting to stack for Mainter, putting him in a comfortable spot. The equalizer just going to clear out the waves so that he can find a healthy base. Dragon in 14 seconds. Na'Vi, I mean, as is their ways. If we take a cheeky look at the mini-map, you will notice.
Yeah, let's see
ward.
Oh,
there's a ward
one, yeah,
there,
we'll
but that's
count
to avoid this control ward. So they've kind of lit it up the bot side of the map. The problem is they can't get mid-prio, Kangas. And I don't think they can try either.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they send Paris there.
I don't think it'll help.
No.
Alvaro is there first, gets to level 6 as well.
Meine Siebe war auch schon irgendwie nicht mehr Base, oder?
The Dragon, and now we have JoJo coming down. Poby's still stuck catching that wave, so
Casey hat 2-1 gewonnen.
kind of caught between the decision. Do they want to commit to the Dragon? So far they are. Alioya is coming up, but the rest of MKOI aren't attached to him right now. They're over the Dragon Pit wall, so that is Dragon secured. MKOI a little disconnected on the approach.
It feels like it. Are they still looking for a fight though?
Verlieren die den Fight hier? Harus. Harus.
As well. Chain CC, but he is holding the line. Samdi peppering Supa with some damage here on the side, but now he's got a flash over the wall. Supa now
Harus.
It was a buy space for Poby.
Wie ist das möglich? Oh mein Gott.
JoJo will join up with the rest of MKOI. They'll answer the aggression of Navi and punish them for it.
A very scrappy affair as KOI do end up finding 2 kills. The problem for KOI is that the Drake goes the way of Navi, so they get time. That's what they're after. They can now concede the 3rd and 4th dragons if they want to and just rely on scaling, whereas KOI is constantly trying to pick up the pace of this game. While they do have a solid poke composition, the question's always going to become, how do they deal with Ornn the later this game goes on? So if they can keep playing at the pace that they're going, leveraging the Syndra and the strength that she has, but that's kind of the core problem that I had with that whole setup. Syndra really didn't have a good position to get involved in that fight at all. She kind of awkwardly came behind the Dragon Pit. She was trying to sync up with the Sin, but it didn't really work out. Now they've set their sights on the Merwin. No
flash.
Got no flash from the earlier play, so this one will land. Equalizer goes down onto the wave, and also to slow Relech.
Wow, die Swifties.
Just walks away from that.
Wow, die Swifties sind OP.
All right, he gets out of there.
Poby in a bit of danger.
Yeah, has to go across.
Wer spielt morgen? SK gegen Heretics und Fnatic gegen MKOI, oder? Oh, SK gegen Navi und Team Heretics gegen Vitality. Okay, danke. Okay. Alright, danke.
And now it's time for Alioya to invade.
So the problem with that play from Navi is you conceded the entirety of the bot side of the map.
Ja, Fnatic MKOI, okay, also okay, doch, SK Heretics und Fnatic MKOI, okay. Ich war verrutscht, gotcha. Danke.
The bot lane 80 carries being zoned away, and it's just more plates going into the hands of KOI. So they turn their 1.1k gold lead into 1.5, and it's just more gold into their pockets. And again, KOI accelerating the game just like they want to.
Was du nach NNO? Ja. Ja, wir haben eh nur ein Best of 3, glaube ich, morgen. Also wenn wir gewinnen. Ansonsten müssen wir noch einspielen, aber wir gewinnen. Ja. Fängt ja morgen, glaube ich, erst 18 Uhr an, also passt. 14 Uhr NNO, Best of 3 und dann 18 Uhr LEC. Ja, er gewinnt. Er ist gar nicht gegen wen spielen wir dann? Prime nicht. Wir spielen gegen Locked In.
Super just wants to get damage out of Poby. I mean, yeah, it's so hard.
Winnable, denke ich.
Aurora to actually farm right now.
Exactly. So normally you'd want to try and match.
Winnable, denke ich.
Send Poby down to bot to try and deal with the Syndra, but
sollte machbar sein.
Because he doesn't have his role quest finished, and he also feels probably even less safe in a side lane than the Sivir does. They're relying on Samdi to basically just wave clear. But again, it's just adding insult to injury.
17 Uhr meine ich.
Super's not losing in the mid lane, and Jojo has nothing to be afraid of bot. Look, he's even hovering in that brush. You can see him on the minimap, just kind of threatening the idea of, I might dive you, right? And so Samdi has to respect it, and just bit by bit,
Habe ich gepostet für die Woche? Nö.
In both mid and bot.
Kacke.
And Navi have multiple members going up on a Merwin. He has the flash available this time around.
Werden wir schon finden.
Will get hit by Relech. Flashes early.
Mit welchem Roster spielt ihr denn? Guter Regank.
And Navi will find their kill.
Main Roster minus Tolly plus Cayman.
It absolutely does.
Also, vorausgesetzt, K nicht PC geht wieder bis morgen. Mal sehen. Heute Nacht gehen wieder die Uhren wieder anders. Ja, ab morgen sind wir wieder in einer guten Zeitzone. Also in einer guten, doch in einer guten Zeitzone. Gott sei Dank. Wieder länger hell.
But what I'm noticing is that they did find finally a lane for Samdi to get CS. He went to the mid lane, picks up
Wie fürs Schild oder was?
The team gets to play top onto Merwin, and now we'll get the Rift Herald. So, yes, it's MKOI still benefiting on the bottom half of the map, but they haven't cracked that turret. I would have expected that to go down much earlier, considering where Navi's been on the map so far.
Game State sollte so gut sein für MKOI gerade, guys. Er ist so gut, der Game State. Ich weiß nicht, ob sie den Drake fighten müssen.
Dragon fight in 40 seconds here, or to play for a turret.
Yeah, this next dragon is really interesting to me, because I wonder, now with the upgraded Merc Dreads, one of the big counters to Syndra, just boots, do Navi feel strong enough to fight?
Müssen nicht fighten, also sie können aber müssen nicht.
Yeah, you bought time for the Sivir to scale.
Maybe even cross-map just top, focus instead getting that top tower, and based on the positioning...
Gehen für Crossmap, okay. Das heißt, Merwin kann hier wieder sterben, theoretisch. Wir können auch, klar, wir können in diesem 2v2 nicht so gefistet werden, das geht nicht.
Herald going to be dropped, and it looks like they're going to do exactly what we talked about.
Exactly. So Merwin still no flash available, no equalizer this time.
Merwin tot.
Under the turret.
Super tot. Game ist geschiftet. Game komplett geschiftet. Just like that.
I don't know how we got into that position, but either way, that's now 2 dead on MKOI. Navi find 2
Und Drake noch nicht gestartet.
And the dragon is still up, by the way. Like, the whole point of this cross map from NAVI was because they were expecting the dragon to be taken.
Yeah.
But Super's death completely changed the plan. Now the dragon is going to be started off. This just buys more time for NAVI to now do stuff on the top side jungle, work towards securing that tower. The bot tower can't be secured because Ornn is still in the area. I mean, a big blunder there from KOI. They just threw away 1K of their gold lead.
Exactly. It was 2.5, now 1,000. MKOI will get another dragon. It looks like a race between turrets, and also Navi will get that first turret on the top half. So now it's not even 1,000 gold lead for MKOI. They were in such a good position.
Wird spannend morgen. Ich weiß nicht, wann es startet.
I mean, Navi, we were wondering.
Ob 17 oder 18 Uhr ist, keine Ahnung.
Super actually gets him to the spot.
He was under.
Gut gemacht hier, ne?
Wow.
Took a tower shot, gets rooted by Paris, and then just dies.
Yeah.
Well, that was a pretty big misplay from Super.
So, das sah irgendwie close aus. Hat Poby aus Versehen den Herald gedrückt? Oh mein Gott, der hat aus Versehen gedrückt. By the way, der hat 100% aus Versehen gedrückt auf den Herald. 100% aus Versehen gedrückt.
By the Herald and from Relech. Oh look, Relech has decided enemy jungle is his jungle.
Elioya will be able to get this first. Now the scatter of the week comes through for on to Relech. Flash from Elioya. Call the Forge God will land, but Elioya is
Poppt da nicht die Ulti. Interessant, ne?
Has a team behind him. His tidal wave will only land onto the front line main, but now the bubble onto Paris and Super over the.
Warum ultet er nicht? Er ultet so spät. Oh, Alvaro. Es ist so ein Free-Win. Oder nicht? Super ist auch noch tot. Es ist so ein Free-Win. Comtiv knallt so hart rein. Egal wie hart du Early Game griefst. In Low Elo ist immer Comtiv.
Merwin will still hold his ground. MKOI decide to back away now, but disaster for MKOI as NAVI pick up 3 kills.
Well, Kangas, welcome to European League of Legends, where fighting likes to happen and the goal is confusing. Right there, it felt like that the initial idea was NAVI want to contest the red buff, but they're too late. Right, the red buff gets stolen. Jojo's also there in anticipation, and he's ready for a fight. The start of that play looked incredible for Koi because it looks like an overstep. Right, the chain CC, the target selection, the damage looks pretty good. You've chunked out Relech already, but you've also used a big chunk of your burst at the very start of the fight, but it doesn't matter. Paris is isolated, gets stunned up, the combo looks clean, you get your first kill. Now you need to disengage, but they're fishing for more. Super stuck in the red pit, and now you can see how Koi has quickly gone from a good centered front to isolated. And NAVI takes advantage of that. They start picking members apart. Relech gets 2 kills on the bottom side of the jungle.
Sollte jetzt dann sein.
To an isolated super. And now Koi, even though Mirwin and Jojo have regrouped, don't actually have the damage anymore to turn the fight in their favor. So it ends up being a winning play for NAVI, even though they were too late to the red buff.
And the gold's dead even, but the kill favor to NAVI, and they'll get another turret now, getting a slight gold lead in their favor. They've been able to come back very, very quickly from MKOI's early advantage, and they still had those early 2 dragons. So, I mean, the more items the Sivir gets, the scarier it's going to look for MKOI in these fights. Samdi is at 2 items now. The 3 is when I really start to see Sivir come online in these team fights. And that's going to happen well before a Dragon Soul fight. If anything, it's going to happen before NAVI even can get their Dragon Soul.
I mean, it was scary for Samdi because he had to lane against the Fed Syndra, and it felt like that he couldn't really lane in mid against Super and Alvaro. But then Super's made, what, 2
Jesus
now? Which has just given Samdi so much more freedom
Jesus
to catch up in farm, but also get a kill for himself. A 1-0-3 scoreline puts him in a fantastic position where now he's being accelerated, and it looks like that Infinity Edge is going to be next on the docket for him. So once he gets that completed, I mean, you're absolutely right. The Sivir is going to be terrifying.
And Relech also got
Rocket Bait auf Syndra.
last skirmish. When you compare that to also the early, advantage he got just from wave clear, the jungle clear, but actually a dive under the mid turret right now as Elyoya jumps in, pressing guard to buy some space, and they clear out the wave. Well, the Forge God from main turret will not find more for NAVI as they will call off the play. They were looking for a dive under the turret, but MKOI have enough members there to thwart it, and they also have Jojo pushing in that top turret.
I'm looking at all these ultis that are being used, and I'm mindful of the fact that the Dragon is in a minute's time. A decent amount from both sides, but nothing too game-changing as you highlighted. That top tower going to fall and just equalize the gold. But I think that with Navi's composition, in an equal gold game state, they're kind of favored. The question ultimately becomes how well can Koi use their poke? Because as we come back to the draft, the biggest question for me was...
Where can I just find a pick right now? Jojo just do it myself with the rocket belts.
Okay, aber...
Just closes the gap, scatter the weak, and takes down Samdi.
So hopefully that was a taster of what's to come from Jojo. Because the question was going to be, what can this Syndra do in this draft? Because in my mind, once Ornn presses ult, how does the Syndra play the game? Especially if you have no flash. But apparently Jojo's logic is...
Und jetzt ist der Drake weg, deswegen?
I don't need flash.
Junge.
Solve the problem of they don't have engage.
Junge.
Jojo is the engage.
I'm the idiot. You're completely right.
How dare you doubt Jojo's creativity? As he will find a pick, and now MKOI are able to get their second dragon. It's still going to be a delayed soul, no matter how you slice it, because it's going to be 2 apiece for both teams. NAVI still have the scaling options, but, I mean, if MKOI can find plays like that ahead of the objectives, they can still find their way to win this game.
Absolutely.
Although Super now. Relech finds an Ezreal yet again. And
Jesus. Jesus fucking Christ, macht der Typ Damage. Und Jojo ist auch noch tot. Was passiert? Wie explodiert die Map so jede 20 Sekunden in die andere Richtung? Grundgültiger.
As Poby will take him down.
They get the TP out from Mingta as well, but Jojo continues to be a force on the side of MKOI that Navi is struggling to deal with. Meanwhile, Super seems to be the target. They found 4 kills on this Ezreal so far this game, which I thought was going to be the hardest target to kill, but Navi, they are farming the AD carry from Koi right now, as Relech is doing everything in his power to steal away camps. 1.7k individual gold lead for this man in the jungle.
Yeah, Relech is unleashed right now, and was the player that we were talking about last year, or last split rather, as like kind of the standout performer from the team. Had a lot of great performances.
Damage macht der Atros. Gut 2 hier. Boom.
It was off picks.
Junge.
Like the Aatrox, like the Ambessa, that he's able to find these types of plays.
Yeah, and we look back at this bot lane play as well. The Rocket Belt to try and sidestep some skills. The fact that he was able to just one-shot the Karma, yeah, level 15 versus level 9. You just got stat diffed, bro. I'm sorry. There's not much you can really do about that. Wow. Wow, indeed. Wow. Yeah. But yeah, something that you were talking about just a few
Noch kein Naiv fertig.
is this,
Hobie geht Storm Search.
the reality behind Relech. The fans saw it, we saw it. His impact in the games was very much felt during the first LEC versus season.
6th player of the series.
Yeah, and I mean, you think about all the players that you're competing with, like you look at the names like Yike and Skumon and Elyoya, like these players, these junglers all have such impact, and the
We
Baron
actually
being
have
started.
a Baron sneak
Warte mal,
happening right
was?
now. As MKOI, they don't spot
Hä?
this at all. I mean, you're just talking about player of the
Hä?
series, Relech stacking those up. How about a Baron sneak on top of it? As not
Hä?
will get that.
Bin weg von der Schwarzarbeit, fick den Staat.
I
think so. You might have a mission.
Play. Of all the duos, Aatrox plus Ornn was not.
Was ist das für eine trockene
This
Scheißnachricht?
will be harder to kill now.
But you know what? Relech continues to teach me new things. The two-man Baron with an Ornn and an Aatrox. Hell yeah.
Einfach so.
Yeah, it's like you can see the. Jojo is just saying, okay, ready.
Ist das krank.
Yeah, that was a scary one for Sam D. He's forced to flash. There it is, the dreaded Infinity.
Krank.
Does not have a lot of backup behind
Ey.
him, but he does have all the
Ist der Jojo nicht am hinten? Oh doch, ist er.
Yoya some space here as he will flash away. Equalizer from Merwin. Supa walking forward as well with Jojopion in his back pocket. Navi a little separated right now as Jojopion looks for the scatter. We got a Sam D flash
Was?
forward. But the
Was?
power's not near.
Was? Was?
Armor shield. Paris keeps
Wieso sind diese Fights so low, Elo?
alive.
Flash Engage vom Popstar.
Big damage out of Jojo.
Nope, nichts geht mehr.
As Sam D will find the damage there. MKOI will lose their jungler. Navi still fights.
And they should open up the big lane. They'll quickly take the tower. And of course, Relech sets his sights on those Raptors once again. He has to take everything away from Elyoya. They'll
That's
get an
the
extra
moral
plate.
victory.
I mean, it's a victory, just flat out. He's going to be looking to take as many camps as he can. Takes the Baron, takes the fight. And Poby finally getting a little bit more impact in this game. He's been stifled so much that the entirety of this game, that ulti was massive from him, though. The fact that such a heavy commitment from Jojo, it does feel like that he's getting a little bit desperate with some of these plays. The idea was to find a pick on a Relech.
So, jetzt hier gleich mechanisch von Samdi ist jetzt sehr geil. Schaut mal nur auf die Diebe jetzt.
About overstepping, so he wants to stick with
Mechanisch sehr, sehr geil gelöst.
but then Jojo sees an opportunity. The stun gets spell shielded
Oh,
beautifully by Sam D.
richtig gut.
And then Jojo, I mean,
Richtig, richtig
he's
schön.
committed everything to try and get that kill. Mirwin is stalling on the other side, but then Poby comes in, connects the ultimate onto 3, takes that Elyoya. I mean, this would have been a Baron if it was on the board.
Yeah.
But instead they'll
They
be
already
happy.
had it.
Yeah, they'll be happy with the tower and the bot camps.
Yeah. You don't need the Baron after the fight. If you had the Baron during
Hab nichts
the fight,
gelesen.
they were able to just push in bot wave, get more plates on that tier 2 turret down there. And now, just establishing more control in the jungle. Scatter from Jojo catches.
Oh, Flash Out Attack ist gut.
And the follow-up from main turret means death to the mid laner. TP in.
Oh.
The Rumble flash immediately to get away from dodge. Navi are on fire right now in these fights.
Absolutely. Koi are on
Wie viele Games kommen noch? Na, maximal 2.
defense.
Maximal 2 noch.
He's going to use it now to buy a little bit of time.
Does
Grüß dich, Stefan.
health bars as well as the cannon minions. Have to clear those ones out when the Baron buff was up, and now it's expired. Navi will back away, but that looked like MKOI finding a pick onto Relech. He's just deceptively tanky, man. When he flash autos, he healed so much. And now it's going to be a third dragon to Navi. They got those early 2 to buy them time. They don't need more time, Vedius. This composition is online.
And this is why so many people have been excited about Relech's introduction to the league, because as you see on your screen, he's not a man that plays passively. He's a man that will, in this situation, flash forward to make the play. He knows that he has the damage to get that kill.
Geiler Flash Out Attack.
Bombs have to be Syndra. They know that she still has no flash, and with the healing that he gets, I mean, beautifully played by Relech. They get the dragon, they get the tower in firm control here in game 1.
And Mainter has also had incredible either primary engage Forge Gods or follow-up Call of the Forge Gods. The Orns providing a lot to this composition as well, because we highlighted MKOI don't have that primary engage, that go button. Navi do, and they're using it to great effect. They're going to use it right now. Call the forward got again onto Jojo Puny. Rocket belts to dodge it, but still goes down.
Schön.
Is traded. Unleashed Power will get Poby.
Schön trotzdem. Ist fein.
I mean, credit to Jojo. He is consistently trading 1-for-1 every time he loses his life. But you can see the concern that I had. On ult, what does Syndra do? The answer is usually
die on a turret.
Yeah. But at the very least, he is able to get 1 kill back. Now, no objectives on the map available. All of the tier 2 towers, oh, except for that mid one, has been taken.
Alvaro steps a little far forward, has to flash.
Navi continue to maintain control of this game. What felt like a pretty scary early game quickly snowballed in Navi's favor because of a couple of key mistakes that we saw, mainly from Super. That death in mids, delaying the take of the dragon, I think was pretty significant. But Navi have just every single skirmish consistently found ways to come out ahead. And Jolly Man, as he finds his way onto the board consistently, has in fact, he is correct in that it feels that Navi have built a bit of a fortress composition here that feels tough to break.
Yeah, it's feeling like we're in 2 towers right now. Remember, you're gonna have to find some dynamite or something to blow up that wall. As we got the ornaments coming in now as well, we just saw Samd finish the Infinity Edge. Now he has 4 items with the upgraded Infinity Edge on top of it. This Sivir is going to hurt.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, she was already hurting. Now she just hurt.
Interessant, dass er LDRs gibt, aber ist okay hier in dem Game.
Yeah, as I would like.
Ist okay.
Buy one, get one free.
Damage plus.
Damage plus, yes.
Yeah,
Sollte ein Killable sein, die haben auch keinen Antil. Ah, doch, Oblivion, Double Oblivion, nein, Moment, sie haben Double Oblivion.
20 seconds.
Oblivion auch.
This is the scariest point for Navi because this is the objective with which teams have thrown before. When you start that objective, the Rommel ultimate becomes a very scary ult that Navi will have to play around. So now they're just trying to push their pressure forward. They're trying to gain control and push MKOI back. You can see this line really start to develop along here, and it's kind of just cutting off access to the river to deny KOI access into the river and just make it as difficult as possible. Bait out those blue trinkets to deny as much vision as possible.
Meanwhile, Poby's just pushing in on the bottom lane, so Navi don't have to start the Baron immediately.
Voll gut.
They can just play
MKOI kann.
Everyone will show up with the Equalizer, tries to roast down Poby, who goes between worlds, but Navi also have engaged.
Geiler Engage.
Shot onto Alvaro, no flash.
Geiler Engage. Und die Rense runter. Geiler, schöner Seite von Rylech. Q1, Q2, schön. Trifft. Sehr geil. Man sollte wieder gute Games.
KOI thought that they had an engage on the bot side of the rift, but
naja.
uses an opportunity to force an engage of their own. They start the fight in mid lane, they get 2 quick kills, and the crazy still gets out alive.
Teilweise nice.
TP to get him.
Teilweise schrecklich.
5 members
The classic.
the Baron in sight. This game 1 looks locked and loaded for Navi.
No CC on Merwin to stop the TP, so there's nothing that MKOI can do to answer.
Gleich LCS? Nee, fängt das nächste Woche an. Fängt erst nächste Woche an.
The jungle carries, and Navi benefit with their second Baron of the game. A 6.5k gold lead, and Dragon Soul fight in a minute's time. I mean, you could basically wrap this one up. I know never say never. I don't want to cast or curse anybody, but this is one of those moments where I'm staring down 4.5 item Sivir thinking, when are we ever going to get to the Sivir? Like, who's supposed to hit Sivir when we got all this front line in front of it, the shields on top of it? It's going to be difficult.
And my question coming into this game was very much, are Navi still very driven by that dragon objective? Do they center their whole playstyle and composition around it? And I think it's fair to say that, at least based on this game, that's not what they've been limited to. It feels like that they've expanded their pool. The Baron take was very clever. They're smart with their cross maps. I'm already quite enticed by some of the development and advantages that we've seen Navi build this game.
And now they're
Kann er mal drauflaufen, oder?
Anytime I see Relech in that position and Mainter walking up, I can guess what might happen.
Hallo Foxy.
Forge God is available, and that is the go button for Navi. MKOI have everybody grouped together. It's about a fight for the mid-wave control.
Poby-Position ist sehr geil hier.
Flash.
One-Shot auf Alvaro.
He's gonna have to put in a lot of work here because Jojo has positioned so safe with.
Poby-Position ist sehr nah. Okay, jetzt gespottet.
Also looking for a bit of a flank here. Navi control the access to the river as MKOI.
Tschüss. Beautiful.
Just one shot, Alvaro.
Beautiful.
And now call the Forge God continues the play. Ilyoya's trying to buy space for Jojo Puma, but again, the no flash. Syndra's out of there.
Schönes Ding. GG.
Not save Ilyoya's life.
Richtig geiles Game.
GA straight to the gray screen. NAVI decimate.
Richtig geiles Game.
Team fight. They control the early.
Holy fuck.
They got their scale
GG.
line, and they're gonna take a game 1 win against MKOI.
Their first win against KOI this year, and they do it in dominant fashion. NAVI.
War ein geiler Draft. Deutlich besserer Draft.
For split 1 in the play.
Bisschen Randomness im Midgame, aber passt. GG.
To the lower bracket, but NAVI will get the first lap here in this best of 3. GG, NAVI take game number 1.
Und das Spiel, das kam morgen um 18 oder 17 Uhr. Weiß ich noch nicht, wann es startet. 17 oder 18 Uhr.
So let's cue it.